Hey folks, Ben here for Everyday Metal. I got Frank and Dean from Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes. Thanks, fellas. How you doing?
Really, really good. Great.
Excellent. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. You guys, I don't know, I think they're about to give you some citizenship or something. You're here all the time. How come what keeps bringing you back here?
I mean, we love the country. You know, we've been playing here for both of us for years and years in various different bands. So I feel like I don't know, there's a connection with our fans here. And we've been able to nurture that in the 5 years that Rattlesnakes have been a band in a way where you can't always get to a country this far away that regularly. It kind of just worked out. We just got lucky. So yeah.
For sure. Well, the crowd just, they lap you up every time, so it's really good to see. Just momentum definitely seems to keep building for you guys, which is awesome. What prompted the tempo shift with the new album?
I think space. We wanted to just do something slightly different. There was already a nudge, you know, on Modern Ruin. We were like, not slowing things down, but we just...
No, the thing is, for us, none of this is ever really like a super kind of conscious decision. So there was never a discussion on tempo from day one to now. Like the first album, and it's kind of only in hindsight do you realise it. I think that's key for us anyway. Like we don't really want to overthink this stuff, and we don't talk chords, we don't talk like theory, or we just write songs that we like. So I say it's just as like the next one will get twice as fast or twice as slow. We have no idea.
Well, that's all good. I guess you just let the mood take you where it takes you, which is always good.
I think it's difficult for fans because they have to process the band album by album. For us, like we process the band song by song, you know, because there's a lot of songs that are written that don't make any album, and that still makes up Rattlesnakes, you know. So for us, like for a fan, they're like, well, when are they ever gonna get back to that? And to me, I say, well, we're always that band. We were that band then, and we're still that band now. If you see us live now, we still play Fangs and Trouble and Juggernaut with the same ferocity, if not more, than we did when we wrote them. Because we're like a much more finely tuned machine now, you know. So it's interesting the way it all develops, and you know, I think for us, like with End of Suffering particularly, we were trying to find a way to have more moments. You know, at Blossom, you listen to it, it's an assault. It's literally like Stabfest 3000. Like you just get chucked in with a killing machine, and it just tries to annihilate you. And the Suffering's a bit more like the person like whispering in your ear. Do you know what I mean? Like in your voice in your head. Like yeah, exactly. It's definite torture, but it's fucking makes you feel like uneasy. And that's what we're always trying to do, is create different atmosphere of our albums.
Yeah, for sure. And it's definitely interesting how. You were talking about doing it all live and how it's just it's its own entire beast, and it just like you said, you know, it all just comes into its own and gets its own. You've got one vibe on the album, you've got one vibe live, and it all just kind of works together.
Yeah, music is severely affected by delivery, you know, and so when you've got like songs that you can slow them down, you can drop the lights, suddenly everybody is paying attention to that stage in a different way, and the impact is undeniable. And so it's nice to have those moments, because then when you want to crank the speed like that you don't lose any impact. It just is happening. So for me, sorry, they're just dragging the bodies out, the last journalists, so they're just cleaning up for us.
Well, better be careful. And I think we keep coming back to the connection you have with your fans, and the Anxiety video clip was really interesting. So how did you guys? Well, firstly, I want to know how long it took you to compile all the info, all the footage, and if you've just got rooms and rooms full of footage that you didn't end up using, if you were inundated, and how did you guys come up with the concept as well?
The concept came together really quick. We had a shared space at the time where we wrote most of the album. And I think there was definitely like a want to do, it felt weird with that song for us to go and stand in a warehouse or something and just perform it. Like the song had a deeper meaning than some songs do. So we were trying to find a way to do a video that we felt kind of matched the complexity, I guess, of the tune. But it was probably like a 10-minute discussion, and it was just, that's kind of how we work. Like
we were working on different floors in the same building, and it was mezzanine. So, and I don't know which one of us, because we never really know, but one of us definitely just shouted like, "Yo, I got it. I think I got it. What about ba 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 ba?" And then the other one was like, "Yeah, that's it. Cool. Like put it down." And then one of us goes, "Okay, I'll write it down. I'll decipher." And then we have a quick look, and then we're like, "Cool, done." And we send it off.
Yeah.
Here's a crazy fucking idea. Like, you got 2 days to figure this out.
It wasn't too like. It was quite a lot of edits. That was the main part of that, obviously, because we didn't perform in it. So we put the word out to fans, and we got tons back. And then I think we had to do it a second time for some other stuff, and it was a fairly like painless music videos can be way worse to make. But we're lucky in that we put that out, and it hinged on fans sending stuff in, and we got way more than we needed. So it was like, we're lucky that connected at least.
Yeah, awesome. From a personal place, where did you draw the inspiration for Little Devil? It seems like one of those songs that everyone you ask has a different take on it. So I'm curious about both of your takes on that song.
How many people you asked?
More than 3.
Wow. It depends on how you look at it. It's obviously a lot of the songs on the album about relationships. That song started out as a small paragraph I had written about a situation I'd seen. It wasn't even directly affecting me, but it was about how someone was keeping someone else in their life on the periphery, and it was kind of like I couldn't understand why they couldn't see that this person was clearly the cause of all their problems. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, man, like, every time you're upset, like, someone's in the back putting out, like, they're like hiding matches. Do you know what I mean?
It's always so much easier when we're looking at the situation as opposed to when we're in it, huh?
They were like putting out fires constantly, and this person's like handing them like water but it's gasoline. It's like, fucking hell, man, like, how can you not see this? So that's how it started. But then, you know, as it developed, like all my songs, like that and Latex Dreams, those songs kind of go hand in hand, and they're both they ended up both being about relationships, about keeping bad things in your life, you know? I think the reality is, like, where it started out and moved quite far from that for me, and then it became about like my dependency on drugs at one point in my life, and how I was desperately trying to not have that in my life, but because I wasn't aware of it, it was stuff that was actually being prescribed to me, you know, but then I was abusing it because it was easy to. So that's how it developed into that. But like all things, like, the song is whatever it meant to me, doesn't matter. Like, whatever you find in it is equally as real and important. Like, that is what the song means. If the song means something to you, just because I didn't see that when I was writing it, that doesn't make it any less true. You know, sure. That is my bottom line on music and art in general. Like, people should often not really talk to the creators, because if they did, that's like, you kind of like, you immediately cut the tree down before it's grown. You know what I mean? So the artist that explains everything, it's like giving someone a treasure map but driving them there. The whole point is the fucking journey. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, for sure. And I guess it's probably a not such a conscious thing too, just having such relatability and having, you know, throughout your entire career doing whatever style you've been doing in each album, just having people being able to relate, and, you know, like you said, having that bond, especially all this way across the world with your fans. How does that make you feel, just having just whatever you've written in your room or wherever you are, and then just coming out and having everyone screaming the lyrics back to you, and really just getting what you're putting out there?
Yes, it's as, I can't even describe the feeling of it. It's as you would imagine it to be. It's overwhelming. It's wonderful. It's a bit fucking scary sometimes.
People paying attention.
Yeah, but more than paying attention, like really living it, really feeling it. Like, you don't go and sing a song at a gig if it hasn't meant something to you.
Yeah.
So I think it's really exciting. And it's probably the thing I like the most about playing live is just when you finish a song and the crowd are still singing the lyrics. That's like a big moment, and you don't get that very often. So that was that's happened a few times for us now, and it's like that's always a really special moment. But yeah, it's hard to put into words like how that can make you feel.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. And from your point of view, I'm really curious, just because we hear it and we go, okay, we've got the music and the lyrics and it all fits together. But presumably, you're off on your own. You're writing lyrics. You're writing songs. Do you often get the lyrics beforehand, or how does once you get the lyrics and Frank puts it over your song, how does that sort of change the way you either feel about the song or approach the song next time you're playing it?
Yeah, the way I see it is that I'm writing like music, Frank's writing lyrics, and then we're writing songs together, because very early on, I think at the start, I figured like, okay, I'll write a whole thing with a bridge and a chorus and that, and it's nowhere near it's way better if I just bring loads of music and we kind of piece it together. But what they mean is kind of, some people ask me quite a lot, and it's kind of like a weird one, because I'm always biased because I'm one of the few people that knows exactly what they mean at the start. So I don't tend to interpret the lyrics that differently myself, with some of them, like Crowbar is a song that will mean something different to everyone, even if they knew what it meant to you. There is songs that naturally I kind of take on a bit, but I find the meaning for me more applies to the time that the song was most important. So some songs, it's like a live thing. So they kind of start to mark a period of touring we've done, or something where maybe that song came into its own or something. And in others, it's the studio time. So they have it's kind of an obscure relationship, I think, that's a little bit weird. And the music means something to me, but obviously without me putting lyrics to it, I don't really know. But I only kind of drawn to the stuff that makes me feel something. If I'm unfazed by a riff or a bit of music, I won't bring it to Frank even, because it's like, what's the point? So yeah, I don't know. It's quite abstract, I guess, but still means a lot to me.
Awesome. Cheers. Well, that's all from me. So we've got Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes. Thanks so much, boys. Appreciate your time. Cheers. Everyday Metal.